Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. It is Brianna here, bringing you another 10-minute wellness episode about how you can live the 10-minute wellness lifestyle. And what I'm going to do from the very beginning of this is set a 10-minute timer so that you can see and I can model to you what this is like. I think when you set a timer for anything, so especially something that you feel like you don't have enough time for, it releases you from the pressure of looking. Really, the alarm's going to let you know when you're done, and then you can decide to go from there, right? And what's so great is I just love doing these 10-minute wellness ideas. I love doing this 10-minute habit in my everyday life because right now my life feels so chaotic, so full, so beautiful, but so hard with three young kids right at home with me all the time. And I'm just reaching a capacity this week. I just really feel like we're at capacity. It's time for fall break. Like, in the sense, I'm just going to give us a fall break. I know many schools typically do fall breaks, but with young kids, sometimes a fall break is not actually a break. We just need to keep doing things, but we will get there anyway. So I am ready for a vacation. So hello, holidays come. But speaking of busy times and the holidays, I think this month I'm taking women through the busy what's it called now, 10-minute wellness blueprint, basically creating your own 10-minute wellness habits. And I think this is such a powerful thing because again, often when we're busy it feels like too hard to to give ourselves to these things. It feels counterproductive. It feels like it won't be enough. It feels like it actually is going to be more stressful. But really that it's a 10-minute reset, right? And that's why, like, I actually created a guide, a free guide called the 10-minute wellness reset, which has 10 ideas that you can do just on almost immediately and just reset yourself, right? And the blueprint is about you creating your own 10-minute reset ideas, right? So I gave you 10. The blueprint is like, let's create your own so that for your unique season. And it's basically a coaching program for $7. Like it's that I actually think it's genius. That's why I went ahead and I printed off if you're watching, you can't see because it's blurred out. Anyways, I went ahead and printed it off. Can I unblurry this for a second over here if you're watching this versus listening to this? There we go. Right? I went ahead and printed it out because I need this just as much as you need it. I need it just as much as you need it. And what I wanted to do today is to really just talk to you about kind of what does actually it look like, a 10-minute wellness blueprint? What is it? What are some actual practical things? And I'm just going to share from my life, right? And these are areas that I am currently doing, working on improving, and then we'll add more areas, right? But what I love about how the blueprint will guide you, it's like you start in the areas you're doing really well and then continue to improve while also working on the areas that you don't do. You want to feel more nourished, is what I like to say. I don't like to say doing well. Like it's not a grade. It's a matter of how nourished you feel, right? And it's not about am I exercising 30, 40 minutes a day? Like, 'cause that's what I should be. It's like, are you feeling nourished with your 10 to 15 minute exercise? And good. Like, good. So let me dive in. So, in the 10-minute wellness blueprint, I really help you first take stock, right? What areas are you feeling most nourished in and not as nourished in? And then you start with those, but you create ideas for all of the areas: nutrition, exercise, stress, sleep, digestion, toxic load, mindset, and other areas of your life, right? And so what you then do is like you take a couple of those and you start practicing them, right? So I've been doing this postpartum with my third, I was going to say fifth kid. Whoa. The reason why, and anyways, I was like, I'm not there. I don't know if we'll go there. But third kid is basically I've been taking one idea and doing it per month. And I actually think that's very sustainable and it becomes a habit. So, for example, I focused first on let me make sure I'm including nourishing foods, particularly nourishing foods as someone who is nursing that will help do, accomplish that, but also nourish me. Right. And so I focused on that honestly for the first 68 weeks. And then in just creating like, whether it's like these little lactation type cookies or which is really just healthy cookies for you anyways, or whether it's drinking a certain amount of water or making sure I'm getting like warm foods to reset your body and all that sort of stuff, right? And then I moved on to exercise, and that is when I really focused on this 10-minute idea around exercise. So it was like a 10-minute stationary bike ride because that's kind of very gentle for your pelvic floor, a 10-minute walk. Like those are honestly still my two go-tos when life is crazy, right? And so that's what it looks like. Like this week I had it in my mind to do a little bit more than that. And really I've just walked every day. I've done a 10-minute walk, a 20-minute walk, a 30-minute walk. It just depended on the time. But it all started with the mindset of I just have 10 minutes, right? And then I decided from there if I had more. Now, when it comes to stress management, often it's kind of coupled. Some of these don't have to be separate. So, saying like kids, this is just too much. Let's go outside and play. We all need a reset. And I will walk with the baby in the carrier usually because he needs that little time to go to sleep and reset too, outside in nature. And then the stress kind of decreases because everything that was stressing you is left inside, whether it be a dirty house or just kids bouncing off the walls. And sometimes it's like doing breath work. Sometimes it's choosing when there is a quiet moment in the house just to sit and do some and listen and drink a cup of hot drink in peace, right? So these are kind of my go-tos. Sleep. This is a little tricky with a 4 or 5 month old and other kids who just like partying. But really, I think for me here, it's been like, what am I going to be doing to unwind? And so whether that's like I delete social media apps and when I need them again, I go back on. Don't check that at night, whether it's putting my phone to sleep. So technology is very, I try to kind of unwind by not using that at a certain amount per night. Or whether it's like reading or a hot shower, like, I have again my go-tos there. Those are some examples. And again, all of those take 10 minutes, right? And then toxic load, this is one I feel like I've done so much around over the last 20 years, but it's just really using products that are not adding additional low small dosages of, synthetic toxins to my body and instead using products that are um more naturally based, right? And so for you, this might mean, okay, well, I'm going to take 10 minutes to create a very simple do-it-yourself cleaner that actually is effective, if not more effective. But I really feel like that was one that I've just kind of like, I'm good at right now. But, and then mindset right now, postpartum or as a mom in the busy season is huge. It's absolutely huge. And so for me, journaling, talking with a friend or texting with a friend, praying, listening to worship music, reading truth, reading scripture, just anything to shift. Because often, like I'm telling you, those postpartum hormones hormones in general are real. But, again, that when you're feeling depleted too, right? Like you're feeling busy, your mind is just all over. And so I have these go-to in my toolkit. And then other areas of my life, like really, I would say the relational connections and friendships and have been something that me and my husband have been trying to, give ourselves a little more time to. I think it's very easy when you have young kids and just it's all over to not engage in those. But I think it's actually the season where you need to engage with relationships the most. Like if people, I'm going to say this, but if people can't like accept that kids are kids and they want you to leave your kids at home like all the time, then I don't think that's a relationship to invest in right now because it's like this is your life and kids are precious. They're a lot of work, but they are so precious. And so all that to say, I just think we need to invest in those areas that are nourish us. And I think connection and community is a huge part of that. So whether that be, again, friendships for me, or whether that be my business like this, helping you guys and getting support in that from another coach, I've always made it a priority, or being a part of programs to be poured into as I pour out, particularly in the business area too. Career, that's my career, part of my career and calling. And I think you should do the same, right? And so some of these habits too, obviously can cost money, sometimes not. Uh, and so that's just like a glimpse, a very brief glimpse of like my go-tos when life is crazy that I already know these and I've practiced these. So like in this season, I have my blueprint. Like I'm going to go through this and probably add a couple that I'm going to be working on, right? But I like know what I'm going to, right? And that's the power. And this is going to go a little bit over 10 minutes. I'm sorry, but that is the power of knowing and having a plan, is that when life is crazy, you know exactly what you need to do. And I am in a season where I don't want to guess too much. I don't have the brain capacity to guess. Like the way my life is right now, it's just like I need to be able to be on and just boom, get something done. And so having a blueprint is very helpful for me in that. And so not again, not just in health, but in homeschool, knowing exactly what we're going to do, my own kind of education I'm putting myself through in my business, in taking care of the house, like in various areas, like having a plan and then being able to execute it. And so that is a power of a blueprint, really, right? Right. If whenever someone's building anything, a house, a structure, they have a blueprint, and you need one too. And so this season that coming up is probably one of the busiest of the year. It's a beautiful season with a lot of relational connection and shifts of the seasons of fall and winter, and but it's busy. It's busy. And so I really think in busy seasons, literally seasons or times in our life, which I think if you're a mom, you're busy is just goes together. Busy isn't a bad word, PS, but I think you need a blueprint and you got to adjust that blueprint. I think you should look at it every quarter or so. And that is why I created the 10-minute wellness blueprint, which is a mini accountability challenge, a guide, almost like a coaching little mini coaching session for you, broken up into pieces to help you create your unique blueprint, your those go-to habits. So let me help you create your exercise habit. Know exactly what exercises you're going to do in your 10 minutes, know exactly what nutrition goals you're going to do, know exactly what sleep goals like, what I'm trying to say? Take the guesswork out of it. And I am making this really affordable. And the reason why this actually used to be free, and then I updated it and I was like, I'm actually going to charge a bit for it. And the reason why is definitely it's valuable, but also because I think it's valuable to you when you can invest a little bit of money in yourself. And it's only $7 right now. And I mean, that's like less than $1 a day because you're going to get a lot of like, even video support. There's a workbook. There's some Q&A sessions that if you get to join us live this month, you get to be a part of live or, additional trainings, or you can watch the replays. And then there's a bonus one-on-one call with me. And it is all designed, again, for you to really be confident, feel energized and confident that you are doing a great job by also pouring into yourself in a very small but powerful way, right? And so if that is something you're interested in, I hope it is. I hope you will join us in the Facebook group, but I hope you will join us in the blueprint. And I will link it below. So go ahead, check it out. You can reach out to me on Instagram, Brianna.Wilkerson, or Facebook, Brianna.Wilkerson345, if you are like, I have questions about this. But I mean, I really think it's something worth you taking a part of, right? So that's it. I know I went over 10 minutes. That's okay. It's actually very hard for me to just do a 10-minute podcast. Because again, I tell myself, it's like I tell myself I only have 10 minutes, but then I'm like, there's so much I want to say. And I let myself say it sometimes, but it's true. And it's good. Like it's okay to go beyond that, is what I'm saying. And it's the same thing with your health goals too. Like if you are like, I only have 10 minutes, but then you're like, I'm feeling really good. I want to do 5 more minutes. Go ahead. You don't need to be like, it doesn't need to be a rule. It's a starting point. 10 minutes is a starting point. All right, so that's it. I will see you on the next episode. Make sure you go check out the blueprint. And I'll even link the reset guide that I mentioned too. If you're like, I just want some ideas, I would say get both. And that way you're on my email list, and that way you're in the community and you can be updated on anything else happening. All right, bye.